is it the right time to buy at the moment? And the reality is at the moment is there's not much competition out there as far as buyers go. You compare that to 6 months ago, to 12 months ago, when people have just been outbidded at property auctions. Now you can go to an auction, and depending on where it is and I'm talking about Metro Melbourne at the moment, but depending where it is in Melbourne, you'll find that people generally won't put their hand up, and it'll get passed in, and it'll probably get sold during the week. So you can actually get deals done now and negotiate. So the things to think about now are, number one, there's less buyers out there. So this could be your opportunity to get into the market and get a deal versus wait to the interest rate rises peak and then everyone jumps back in the market. So then all of a sudden you've got 10 to 12 people that are interested in a property again. That's the first thing to think about. So do you pull the trigger now while the competition's not there? You may pay a little bit more than you could have paid in 6 months' time, but is that really an issue over 20 years? That's the first thing to think about. The second thing to think about is what type of property to buy and where the deals are happening. And at the moment, the deals are happening on properties that are unrenovated. People do not want to embark on a renovation. You've got costs of materials, you've got cost of labour, you've got access to labour. There's a fair chance that if you buy a house that's unrenovated, you will not be able to organise a renovation easily within the next 2 to 3 years. So people don't want that property. People want the properties that are finished, that they can move into, ready to go, that look nice. So if you're in a position where you can either rent it out as it is or live in it or do some works yourself maybe, short term to make it comfortable for 2 or 3 years, you're probably going to get a deal on an unrenovated property at the moment and one that needs some kind of work. And the third thing to think about is particular areas. And speaking to the real estate agents that we deal with, the areas that were way too hot, they're really struggling at the moment. So, in and around the north, areas that you looked at those prices and went, geez, that doesn't make much sense. How did it get that? Those areas have seen 10% drop already, talking to the agents that we're talking to. Whereas if you look in the east, there's not a lot of stock on the market still, and the east seems to be holding up quite well. So understand the different areas and where you can get into a market that was cheaper than it was 6 months ago. And just to reiterate that, from what we're hearing in particular pockets, the 10% drop has happened. It just hasn't been reported, but you speak to real estate agents and it's definitely happened.